Now we will discuss innovative method of teaching. Importance of education. Our religion attaches great importance to knowledge and education. When the Quran began to reveal, the first verse was Iqra, that is read. A scholar alim is accorded great respect in the hadith. Education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. Swami Vivekananda. They are not students of our generation, where they sit down and listen. I think things have changed now. They want to explore, cut, and paste. Analysis of traditional method of teaching. Pre-technology education context, the teacher is the sender of the source. The educational material is the information or message. The student is the receiver of the information. The delivery medium chalk and talk method. Overhead projector OHP transparencies. In such a lecture, students assume a purely passive role and their concentration fades off after 15 to 20 minutes. Limitation of traditional method of teaching. Teaching in classroom using chalk and talk is one way flow of information. Teacher often continuously talk for an hour without knowing student response and feedback. The material presented is only based on lecture and notes and textbooks. There is insufficient interaction with students in the classroom. More emphasis has been given on theory without any practical and real lifetime situations. Learning from memorization but not understanding. Innovative method of teaching. I hear and I forget. I see and I believe. I do and I understand. Confucius. The empires of the future are the empires of the mind. Winston Churchill. Innovative teaching methods. Innovative teaching method is a proactive approach to integrate new teaching strategies and methods into classroom. Effective innovative teaching process. Teacher-student activities. Why innovative? The pyramid of learning. Average retention rate. Lecture 5%, which is passive teaching method. Lecture 5%, reading 10%, audio visual 20%, demonstration 30%. And the next is participatory teaching methods. Discussion group 50%, practice by doing 75%, teach others 90%. So this is the Bloom taxonomy. Remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, create. This is the multiple intelligences: spatial, musical, logical reasoning, interpersonal, bodily kinesthetic, linguistic, intrapersonal, neuralist, naturalist. Characteristics of an innovative classroom. Reflection. Innovative classroom engages in constant reflection and in accusation. They think about what is working as a class and independently and what is not. Reflection can be uncomfortable, but for a class to be constantly evolving and innovating, this process must occur. Furthermore, an innovative classroom will always be asking itself, what if? Invite and encourage students to ask questions. Constant learning. An innovative classroom never stops to catch its breath. Every event is seen as teachable moment, and student will benefit from a fast-paced ever. Creativity. A creative classroom not only comes up unique solution to everybody problems, but it also develops the response necessary to deal with future challenges. A creative classroom fosters innovation by encouraging student to think outside the box. Connection. An educator must always know his or her students as well as the trends that are emerging in the profession. He or she will seek out new techniques and technologies and encourage students to do the same. Principle and routines. You should exist and function on strong principles and routines. Incorporate strong value to guide the class. The teacher in an innovative classroom will encourage consistency and diligence by establishing hard and fast guidelines for how the day is run. Problem finding. Innovative classrooms don't wait for the problem to appear to them. They actively seek out problems in the classroom, in their learning, and in the world. Innovation start with a question, not with an answer. New technologies are under understanding. New technologies and understanding can only be developed when students begin to ask questions about why or how. Collaboration number 7. A collaborative classroom encourages innovation by pursuing students to work with others who may be different from them, either in their beliefs, behavior, or background. Collaboration in the classroom encourages discussion, which is the father of all innovation. Number 8. Variation. Don't rely on one teaching or learning techniques to get a point across. An innovative classroom includes teaching strategies that are always evolving and are different from day to day. Number 9. Goal settings. Innovative learners will set goals for themselves and crush them. These goals may be large or small, or ideally contain some aspects of both types, but should guide learners towards innovation. Number 10. Opportunities for revision. Not only are not only are innovative learner risk takers, but they also recognize that nothing is ever perfect. As a result, an innovative classroom is resilient and pushes students and teachers to always be changing, adapting, and improving. Innovative learners will look to themselves and others to better every aspect of their performance. Characteristics of the innovative teacher. Creative. Not only are innovative teachers creative people, they tend to celebrate creativity in all its forms. Innovative educator realizes that the importance of harnessing and nurturing the creativity of their students. Part of this process includes celebrating difference in the student and differentiating instruction to meet the need of student. Innovative teachers know how important it is to allow students to explore their own creative potential. Collaborative. Innovative educators valuing collaboration and thrive in these type of settings. In the article Collaborative Among Educators for True Innovative Programming, Mary Little and Patricia Crawford 2002 point out that the literature on collaboration discusses that the need for a common vision shared by professionals with diverse expertise searching to create an innovative process to enhance the learner outcomes for all involved. Page 324. Not only does not collaborative lead to a shared common vision, but it is through collaboration that one gains new insight and perspectives. Courageous. Innovative educators are at their heart courageous. They savor opportunities to learn new things, are not afraid to make risks in their learning and teaching. They do not view mistakes as failures, but the opportunities to grow and try again. Their courage is inspiring. Curious. Curiosity is a feature that innovative teachers possesses. They are naturally inquisitive. They are naturally inquisitive, and love to explore new ideas. Connected. Teachers who are considered innovative are connected to their world around them. These connections can be digital, community oriented, or oriented toward professional development. Innovative teachers are also deeply connected to the needs of their students. Compassionate. Compassion is an essential trait that innovative educator must possess in order to become fully engaged and motivated about learning. Student must feel that their teacher care for them. Compassion rules. Committed. Above all else, the innovative educator is committed to lifelong learning. They realizes that this form of commitment is necessary to be truly innovative and provide their students with the best educational experience possible. Innovative educators are also committed to reflective practice. They recognize the value reflection has on improving their teaching. Change agents. Innovative teachers can even become change agents. The rapidly changing society of today requires from teachers that they are be able to willing to cope with the many challenges of change. In today's school, teachers are needed to who are real change agents. Thus, teachers who are willing to learn and change from inside, internal drive to reflect and make sense of things, and outside meet external demands, both individually and in collaboration with others in their schools. Teachers who are change agents are positive, motivating, and confident, committed, open to new ideas, and thus willing to take risks. Standard for effective practice of innovative teachers. Ron Newell, Learning Program Director for AdVision Schools 2003. Design interdisciplinary learning experiences that allow students to integrate knowledge, skills, and methods of inquiry across several subject areas. Collaborate, collaborate with other professionals to improve their overall learning environment for students by connecting disciplinary knowledge to other subjects. Number 3, effectively utilizes the local community as an extension of the classroom learning environment by identifying and using community resources to foster student learning. Use multiple teaching and learning strategies to engage students in active learning opportunities that promote the development of critical thinking, problem solving, and performance capabilities, and that help students assume responsibility for identifying and using learning. Number 5, know factors and situations that are likely to promote intrinsic motivation and help students become self-motivated in order to foster student lifelong growth and learning. Number 6, design and manage learning communities in which students assume responsibility for themselves and one another, participating in decision making, work both collaboratively and independently, and engage in purposeful learning activities. Number 7, engage students in individual and group learning activities that help them to develop the motivation to achieve by relating activities to student personal interest, allowing students to have choices in their learning, and leading students to ask questions and pursue problems that are meaningful to them and the learning. 8, know how to ask questions and stimulate discussion in different ways for particular purpose, including probing for learner understanding, helping students articulate their ideas and thinking processes, promote productive risk taking and problem solving. Number 9, use varied and appropriate formal and informal assessment techniques, including observation, portfolios of student work to teacher made test, performance task, projects, student self-assessment, peer assessment, and standardized tests. Number 10, implement student self-assessment activities to help them identify their own strengths and needs and encourage them to set personal goals for learning. Number 11, demonstrate the ability to work with mixed age grade grouping and utilize the range of abilities and experiences in such a situation to instructional advantages. Teacher, the greatest innovator. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stay young. To teach is to learn twice. Teacher should guide without dictating and participate without dominating. The critical factor is not class size, but rather the nature of the teaching as it affects learning. Learnings never ends. Project method of teaching. So this is we already discussed in the previous video. Effective lesson planning. Okay, now we talk about the effective lesson planning. Effective teachers know the content, understand the development of the student, value the diversity of the student, use multiple assessment to evaluate progress, create a suitable learning environment, adapt and modify instruction, use effective communication, collaborate with all members of the all learning community, engage in sustained and professional growth experiences. Instructional planning and strategies. Plans are developed to provide students with meaningful learning experiences. Plans connect to relate learning opportunities. Teaching is based instructional strategies that focus on best practice and research. Teaching is supported by strategies that foster interest and progress. General policy. Plan are legal document, usually required weekly to the supervisor. Plan book, district purchased self-made notebook. Substitute plans must include text, objectives, needed materials, bell ringer, procedures, closing. Good planning. Keep the teacher and student on track. Achieve the objectives. Helps teacher to avoid unpleasant surprises. Provide the roadmap and visual in the logical sequences. Provide direction to a substitute. Encourages reflection, refinement, and improvement. Enhances student achievement. Activity. Brainstorm a list of benefit well-planned lesson and pitfalls of poorly planned lessons. Poor planning. Frustration for the teacher and the student. Aimless wandering. Unmet objectives. No connection to prior learning. Disorganization. Lack of needed materials. A waste of time. Poor management. A good lesson include TAKS, objectives, expected student behavior, warm-up and introduction, procedures, materials, worksheet, film, text, etc., presentation, practice, application, closure, evaluation, test, assignment, teacher, observation, etc. Maximize instructional time. Integrate diverse teaching strategies. Have all students on task. Let's begin. The format of a lesson should go one step at a time. Have a picture or activity for every step. An effective lesson plan is a set of plans of building something. It constructs the learning. Example division problem. Visual. Compare, divide, multiply, subtract, compare, down, bring down. Compare this direction for making model airplane. Marketers have it right. The greater the structure of a lesson and the more precise the directions on what is to be accomplished, the higher the achievement rate. Harry Wong, the first days of teaching. Objectives. A description of what the student will be able to do at the end of the lesson. Provide alignment with district and state goals TEKS. Use behavioral verbs to describe the expected outcome action know, appreciate, enjoy, love, etc. The student know your objective, why they need to know, and how will use the learning. Good objective, student will be able to illustrate clouds that signal unsettled weather. Poor objective, student will understand that some clouds signal the approach of poor weather conditions. Activity, have group 2 to 3 write behavioral objectives for warm up and introduction. Grab the attention of the students, provide the interest motivation factor, set the tone of the lesson connected to the objective, a question, a story, a saying, an activity, a discussion starter. Be creative. Pre assessment. What are the characteristics of the learner in the class? What do the student already know and understand? How do my student learn best? What modification in instruction might I need to make? Teacher makes 1500 decisions a day. This is where it begins. Previous teacher comments and test data. Com folder, classroom observation. Procedures and presentation. Set up step-by-step plan. Provide a quick review of previous learning. Provide specific activities to assist student in developing new knowledge. Provide modeling of new skill. A picture is worth of thousand words. I do, we do, you do. Materials. Plan, prepare, have on hand. Murphy Law. Envision your needs. List all resources. Have enough manipulative when needed for groups or individuals. Practice. Applying what is learned. Provide multiple learning activities. Guided practice, teacher controlled. Use a variety of questioning strategies to determine the level of understanding. Generalizing, conferencing, independent practice. Practice may be differentiated. Build on success. Learning activities. Graphic organizers, creative play, peer presenting, performance, role play, debates, game making, projects, cooperative groups, inquiry learning, direct instruction, differentiation, indirect instruction. Closure. Lesson wrap up, leave student with an imprint of what the lesson covered. Students summarize the major concepts. Display internalized student knowledge. Teacher recap the main points. Teacher sets the stage for the next phase of learning. Evaluation. Assess the learning rubric. Teacher may test in-class homework assignments. Project to apply the learning in real-life situation. Recitations and summaries. Performance assessments. Use of rubrics. Portfolios. Journals. Informal assessment. Reflection. What went well in the lesson? What problem did I experience? Are there things I could have done differently? How can I build on this lesson to make future lessons successful? The substitute now what? The key to substitute success detailed lesson plans, discipline routines, children with special needs, fire drills and emergency procedures, helpful students, helpful colleagues, classroom schedule, names of administrators, expectations for the work, packet of extra activities. Teacher at the beginning of the school year, teacher at the end of the school year. A teacher is one who brings us tools and enables us to use them. Lesson plan reviews. Reflection, open discussion. Main components of a lesson plan. critical thinking skills, characteristics of good lesson, teacher responsibilities. Lesson plans, lesson plans, Bloom taxonomy. Used daily in questioning to develop higher order of thinking skills, critical thinking skills, knowledge comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. Lesson plans, Bloom taxonomy, knowledge. Remembering, memorizing, recognizing, recalling, identification, and recalling of information. Who, what, when, where, how, describe. Comprehension, interpreting, translating from one medium to another, describing in one's own word, organization and selection of fact and ideas, retell. Application, problem solving, applying information to produce some result, use of fact, rules and principles, how is an example of, how is related to, why is significant. Lesson plans, Bloom taxonomy analysis. Subdividing something to show how it is put together, finding the underlying structure of a communication, identifying motives, separations of whole into component parts, what are the parts of features of, classify according to them, outline diagram, how does compare contrast with, what evidence can you list for. Synthesis, creating a unique original product that may be in verbal form or may be physical object. Combination of ideas to form a new whole. What would you predict, infer from? What ideas can you add to? How would you create, design new? What might happen if you combine? What solution would you suggest for? Evaluation. The last stage is evaluation. Making value decision about issues, resolving controversies or differences of opinion, development of opinion, judgment or decisions. Do you agree? What do you think about? What is the most important? Place the following in order of priority. How would you decide about? What criteria would you use to assess? Great teaching start with a great planning. Characteristics of great lesson plans: clear instruction, explanation, timelines, expectations, and assessment. Interactive hands-on activities, engaging and fun, allow student to feel sense of shared exploration and discovery. Give student choices. Great teaching start with a great planning. Student engaged or motivated. Break assignment into small chunks, hand-on manipulatives, ask open-ended questions, make lesson relevant, allow student to develop on questions to research, integrate diverse teaching strategy, talk at appropriate level. Foundation habits: be explicit, model, reinforce. Set student goals. They are all high expectation keys to great goal setting. Regular routine, mini goals focus on small immediate action oriented, very specific action, what, when, how, level appropriate, followed by reflection student need. It evaluate leads to feeling of accomplishment and future goal settings. The 5 most important things you can do for your students: care, set high expectations, create orderly structured classroom, earn respect, stay calm, exercise self-control, treat each student with courtesy and respect. Lesson plan preparation summary. Optional preferred indicate homework, field learning experiences, guest presentations, highlight interdisciplinary activities, video aided learning, and follow up reflective activity. Thank you so much for listening.